I'm going to have a look now in a bit more detail about how you create a route and modified routes and use routes within the training chart plotter. So I've got marked here on the chart where my vessel's now anchored. I've put a little point as an anchor, and I want to make a passage from there to Farlow River. Now, if you don't know where Farlow River is, we'll use the search for places to do that. There's Farlow. That's what I'm going to search for now. It's not there at the moment. I'm going to scroll out to zoom out, and there you go. Farlow River is there. If I click that, we should see a pulsing button. There we are. Down the bottom right hand side of the screen there's a little flashing bit, and I'll just scroll down to there. There we are. So that's Farlow. So I want a route from where I'm anchored now down to Farlow River. I'll just close the search to get rid of the buttons, and if I can't get it all on the screen, it doesn't matter. I can use the zooming in later on. So that's where I'm going to be going from. I'm going to go from there up off the islands at anchor down to the entrance of Farlow River. So to create a route, I can choose to create a route from up here, there, make a route, but I'm going to use the mouse as my preferred option. So right click, route, and I'm going to come down, and I'm not going to be worrying too much about where I place them just for the moment, and then double click to finish the route. So that is the easiest way to do the direct line from start to finish, but that's not quite what we're after. What we're going to do now is going to use a technique called rubber banding, where we're going to work our way along and just move them around, move the various waypoints around to get it to work. So that's not quite in the right starting place. I'm going to just put that over to there as a starting point there, and I don't really want to go straight down there, and I certainly don't want to go straight over that way. So I want to actually come over here a little bit more now. That's what I've decided I want to do here. So go to the route, right click, and I'm going to insert a waypoint. And I'm just going to move that out to be just next to that buoy. And that's quite nice actually. It's a nice little indicator of where I am on the buoy. And I'm going to follow my route down. Nice thing about rubber banding is the route's always going to your destination, because that's where your final waypoint is. And there's nothing really quite terrible there. Perhaps the only thing I might worry about is how busy the Farlow channel is. So what I might actually do is put another waypoint in there and just come down to there, and I think I might actually just nip across to the other side of the channel. I'll put another waypoint in there, and I'll just sort of come across the channel a little bit more determined, and then I don't want to be going over that headland. Another waypoint there, and I think I'll just put that just across there, and I think actually that would do me quite nicely. I may, just to be extra careful, put something down there where I could see the river open up, and I can see into the river and start coming in. And just looking at the end point, that all seems fine. So there's my route. That's quite easy to do. Oops. So you've got lots of information on there. Each waypoint's got a name. So if I zoom into the beginning, that's waypoint 1. So I zoom in, waypoint 1. Moving along to waypoint 2, and so on and so on. Now I can do all sorts of things with that. I can read that it's 4.03 miles and 124 degrees 2 from waypoint 1 to waypoint 2, and I can also find out what the next bit is there in terms of 2.19 and 168 degrees true. I can also hover over the entire route, and it gives me the total length is 14.1 miles. And I can also modify this by, if I go into my overlay area, the route does exist. And on there, now right click, and I'm going to rename it route to Farlow, which makes it a bit more useful for me. But I'm also going to rename my waypoints as well. So rename that waypoint. So start at anchor. Type. And I'm going to go along to the next one, and I'll rename that one as well. And actually, what's that buoy called? FC6. Off FC. And finally, rename this one Farlow Bay. Great. So now we've got all of the waypoints named and we have our route in place. If I decide I don't like where the waypoint is, I can move any of them by just dragging. So if I zoomed in on here, if I decided actually I'd rather have that on that contour right there, I can just drag it onto the contour. And equally, any of the others I can move around if I wanted to make that one actually following that contour along there for argument's sake. In addition to dragging, you can actually right click on any of these and enter the position in latitude and longitude, and that'll put that in there. So that's handy if you've got a latitude and longitude given in an almanac and you want the position of the waypoint to be exactly that. If you want to delete any of the waypoints, as is always the case in these things, if I just insert one in here, right click and insert waypoint, if I decide I don't actually like that waypoint, I can right click and just delete that waypoint. Pretty straightforward. You can also extend the route. If I decide I want a few more in there, I can right click and extend the route and just put an extra waypoint in. But I didn't actually want to do that, so I'm going to, excuse me, double click and I'm going to undo that last one. There you go, he's gone. Okay. And the final nice little trick about this, once you've got your waypoint, if you want to have a paper copy or something that you can actually use to reference it, I'm just going to show you that again. I'm just clicking on so it's highlighted, right click, and I'm not going to do any of these sort of things. I'm just going to copy, and I've copied the information relating to that waypoint, and I've just got Notepad open. I'm just going to bring that window up, and I'm just going to paste that into Notepad, and there you've got the route, and it's called route to Farlow, start at anchor, and the distance of bearing to the next waypoint, which is actually off FC6, and so on, so on, so on, finish. So that's quite handy for you to actually have a paper reference for what your route is. The only other niceties you've got, you can change your waypoint symbol. I've just right clicked on there, I can make it a circle, but we prefer the cross, that's the more common one. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a look at some of our other videos which go into detail of some of the other functions.